All right, I'm back with another video. I'm hoping for this to be a bit of a biography, but more just to make things a little bit more understandable. So, okay, so I'm gonna tell you. So when I talked about that whole genuine and formal, the genuine and the formal, the two parts, the genuine and the formal, and how you age through it. Again, I'll tell you. You know what, man? I turned 15 years old. I said bye bye to all my crazy ideas. I literally, I was dying to just. I was like, dude, why can't you guys just give me the goddamn equipment and send me to a war, man? I mean, there's so many wars happening. Why can't you send me to one war, man? You know, come on. There's a lot of people. Most people don't even want to go to war. I'm volunteering, you know. So all those crazy ideas went out the door. I was trying to assimilate with all the other kids who were my age. And so I started shifting, and I go, okay, let's think realistically. Okay, at this age, I'll get my driver license, I'll get a job, I'll go to university or for business and everything, or college or whatever. I was thinking about university. I was like, okay, forget about all the crazy shit. I'll do business. I get a proper job, work my way up, you know, do the office thing, and that's it. Now, did I want to do that office thing right then? No. Would I have gone to war? Yes. Did I want to do the office thing right at that time? No, I did not want to do it at that time. My mind told me that when I'm older, when I'm done university and I'm in my 20s, I will want to work in an office. That's what I told myself. I will want to get married. I will want to have kids. I will want to get a house. All this shit, like that's what I told myself. Now, I had this side of me that I couldn't get rid of. I mean, even as I was growing older, you know, the other kids were actually like genuinely maturing. You know what I mean? I was just formally maturing at the same time as them, but they were genuinely maturing. I saw it. I saw the kids advance in how they looked at the other gender. I saw them advance socially in their personal lives, academically and everything. I saw there was no kid. I'm not kidding you. There was no kid that I ever saw, no matter how bad he was at whatever. I never saw a kid that I didn't see mature genuinely way more than me. So, you know, I'm 16. Oh, yeah, it'll happen. I'm 17. Oh, I'll get it. 18. I'm like, okay, yo, you know what, dude? We'll get there. I'm still not getting there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I was formally going through the ages, and I was formally getting older. And as I formally went older, I tried to hang on and do my best. You know, just like a kid trying to swim in deep waters, I was just trying to keep up with this formality. Now, age 23, I finally got my first full-time job. All my jobs were part-time. My first full-time job that I got was when I was 23 years old, doing valet in the spring, right? I had gone to Cuba, came back, looked like I found this valet job. I took it, did it for 5 months. And in those 5 months, in those 5 months, at the end of the job, I departed to Colombia. But prior to that, I went to Cuba, I went to Dominican, separate trips. I went to Colombia, and I did all that within that time when I was working that job. I was working full time. I was doing like 60, 70 hours a week, but it was downtown Toronto. We were always outside, and it was just super fun. Just doing what I would want to do anyways, except I'm doing valet and I'm getting paid for it. Yeah, I love parking cars. I mean, it was really cool. I got to try out so many different cars. I would take them for spins. You know, if I knew that unless it seemed like, okay, I shouldn't take this car for a spin. I took a lot of cars for spins, middle of the night, afternoon, whatever, it didn't matter. You know, I just take a detour so that I would get the hang of driving different cars. I learned driving stick while working my valet job, right? I come back and I told you everything was really bad when I came back. Things just got weird, they got bad. I was getting a lot of despite, a lot of hatred. It was just crazy. And like I said, I may have been winning the intimidation game, but I wasn't claiming it because genuinely I wasn't that age. So I wasn't claiming it because formally I was that age. But I told you, when I robbed that bank at 24 years old, it was like I just went into dead time. Like my whole life just decimated. There was no life anymore. I had no life. Not just formally, even genuinely, I had no life. It was as if like, I existed in a desert with nobody around me. It was just the weirdest thing, and people knew about it. You know what I mean? 7 years, I felt like I was just in dead time. Like, I'm still 15 years old, man. Genuinely, I am 15 years old. And formally, I'm not aging at all. It's like I'm genuinely and formally a 15-year-old bank robber. That's how I felt, genuinely. You know what I mean? But the thing is that, that immaturity that I had, that laughter, I couldn't get serious about anything. I'd sit there for like 5 minutes watching a video in class, and I started laughing to myself. And I looked for reasons to laugh, and I looked for reasons to point stuff out that would make me laugh. It was to the point that by the time I was 17, dude, it got so difficult for me. People just started hating the fuck out of me. You know what I mean? And the problem was that I used to laugh at everybody. I couldn't control myself. I had no control over myself. I just had to laugh at everybody around me. The teachers started hating me. The students started hating me. And as these people genuinely matured, I stayed the same, and it really got to the point where like people would say that I was getting on their nerves a lot. It was happening a lot, but I couldn't help it, man. I just, mentally, that change that was happening in all these kids around me was not happening with me, only formally, but it wasn't happening with me. It took a lot of self-control on myself, but I couldn't stop, man. I thought I was gonna get like jumped so bad, you know what I mean? I thought kids were just gonna come trying to pound me or something. It was crazy, man. And but anyways, like, yeah, I never achieved, I never got that serious thing going in me. No matter how hard I tried. I tried reading all these special books about, self-development, all that. I just read books and books and books, not like factual books, about money, about finance. And I was trying to further myself. And after like 7 months, I'm like, you know what, dude, fuck all this shit. The only way to learn is by doing. I'm just gonna start going to bars and nightclubs every night, man. I'm gonna get a job, on a different job where I'm out all the time. I'm gonna go to bars and nightclubs, not work. I'm gonna go to bars and nightclubs, whatever, hang out and do all that shit. And, I'll just pick it up as I go. And I was right. I was picking stuff up. Unfortunately, I became who I really was, which is very unfortunate. You know what I mean? I just became who I always truly was. And like a few months of that, or 6 months of that, led me up to my bank robbery. About 6 months of that that thing that was getting into me, who I really was, led me to that bank robbery. And it put me in dead time, put me in a genuine place when I was 15 years old. Now, people over those 7 years, I know they got used to a certain me, like seeing a certain me and feeling out a certain me. And that's why I'm doing this video, is I'm trying to explain that how different I am genuinely. Now, at this point, and I'll be honest with you, I am not formally my age. Like the age that I was born at and the age that I am now, that's not the age I am. Formally or genuinely, I am not 31 years old. Not to anybody. There's nobody that thinks of me. Yeah, when I was, from the time that I was born to now, it's been like 31 and a half years. Okay, 31 and a half years since the time I was born to now. But there's no way that genuinely, and I do feel that I am genuinely and formally like aligned. And my life is aligned and my age is aligned. I gotta tell you, man, if anybody, I gotta say 25, man. Because I was 24 and a half when I robbed that bank, man. I would say I'm 24 and a half to 25. And it'll never change, because I haven't aged in at least 10 years, if not 10, 11 years, or maybe more. I have not aged at all. Okay, I just grew my hair. I look different because I grew my hair for the first time in my life, because I couldn't get a haircut for 2 years. For 2 years, I wasn't able to get a haircut, and then when it got long, I was like, leave it long, man. Who cares? Just leave it. I'll leave it like this for the rest of my life. This is like as if this was me the whole time along with the long hair. So I would say formally and genuinely I'm 25 years old. Now, what does that mean? I'm out of that time and this is my stage. Dude, you gotta understand, you gotta understand who a man is and how to deal with a man. You know what I mean? Yeah, people have been giving this to me since I was a kid. Oh, he's a genius. I've heard people say that I'm a genius. He's a genius. He's so smart. He can do anything. Oh, he's so much better. He's so much more talented and skilled and quick-witted. Oh, he's just playing with us all. They were really convinced. A lot of people, even when I was trying to be nice to them, they thought that I was fucking with them. Okay, they thought I was genuinely just clever and I just liked fucking with people. Whatever the case is, I was not doing that. You know what I mean? But the point is that, I got a lot of that. Oh, he's so good. But, genuinely, when you're like 15 years old, man, I mean, what kind of life are you gonna have? You know what I mean? I was always at that stage. You know how like when you go to school and you sit in class? You know what I mean? And all the kids are in class? That's one mode. But when kids go outside, hang out at the park, or go here and there, which I never was a part of. Never did I ever hang out with it. I told you, where I was, lunchtime, from lunchtime, I could just walk home within, one school was 7 or 8 minutes, one school was like 3 minutes away, just down the street. So I had no issue, like, I didn't have to hang out with any kids. I just went home and played video games on my lunch. And I kind of made friends in class, but I didn't hang out with anybody. No, I never went to Wonderland with anybody. That's a theme park where everybody goes to. I went like way later. And I only went twice, but I didn't do anything with the kids. You know what I mean? So the kids are one way in class and they're one way outside. Now kids have adults with their hands over their heads teaching them and almost instructing them. I wasn't one of those kids, so it just couldn't happen. I didn't learn the way other kids learned. I was always genuinely 15 years old. You know what I mean? I'd say 16 is when you prepare to become an adult. That's like a couple of years stage. It takes 2 or 3 years, and then you're an adult, right? Being genuinely 25 years old, even in the world, it's enough. At 25, you can go to any party, you can do whatever. You just have you have your license at 25 years old. You can start doing all this stuff, right? So that was my deal. So I try to make it clear to people when I see them, if they're stuck in an old form of mode or thinking, I try to correct them. I go, dude, you gotta understand that I know you think of me as being so good at blah, 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 and so fast and so whatever. I understand that, but you gotta understand that outside of that, I know for a long time you thought I was just a kid, like I was treated in that way. And I want you to understand that at this point, I really am an adult out there, genuinely and formally. I'm not even a young adult. I'm like a 25-year-old adult out there, man. You really got to understand that I'm old enough to do everything, to have a full driving license, to work any job, to do anything legally, to even to be just as a sole adult. I am at that age, okay? Because people don't doubt me when it comes to skills and talent, but they doubt me when it comes to maturity or being an adult. And I like to tell them, dude, right now, you see me, you talk to me, you're dealing with a genuine adult. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna go. And for 7 years, I was in dead time, so people would think, well, he's intimidating guys, but the guys are bigger and stronger. Or when there's women and children around, or when there's families and public around, I am supposed to be disrespected automatically. So a guy who's the biggest pussy, biggest piece of shit in the world, he could be a pedophile or whatever, or a pimp or anything, and that guy, because he's an adult and I'm a child, he deserves to be respected over me, even if it's at the Bay or Walmart. I've never worked at Walmart. If I was working at Walmart or the Bay and they saw me work, you know what I mean? At work, I'm supposed to be disrespected. I'm letting them know that shit is over. I'm out of that time, and I am genuinely formally out there. I am like a 25-year-old. So when you and it doesn't matter. Look, you can be 40 and be young. They say you're young as you think. So the thing is, when you see me out there, you gotta understand that as of now, forget all that talent stuff. You gotta understand that even no matter where I am, in the dark, in the light, you gotta understand that I am an adult. You know what I mean? So when you think about disrespecting me or treating me like shit, imagine somebody doing that to your uncle or your or whoever, your uncle or your stepdad, your dad, whatever it is. Imagine somebody doing that to to him. You know what I mean? And that would happen. If you start doing shit like that, you will cause that to happen. And I'm not trying to throw that in your face to laugh. I'm just letting you know so that you don't go, oh my God, I know I was warned, but I did it anyways. I did it. No, I want to make that clear. Do you know what I mean? So if there's women and children, families around, and you're 25, I'm 25, or you're 30, whatever you are, even if you're genuinely and formally like me, you don't have a right to fuck me up if you're actually weaker than me. Because at this point, we're at the same respect level. And if you really want to fuck with me and find out who wins, I mean, that can go either way. And we can let that happen. Anyways, I'm done.